What's up everybody, it is Mike from Mike's Fish Tanks and I am back with another wild caught Frontosa video. Today we are going to be rescaping the tank. I took all of the rock work out, everything that was in the tank except for this hanging rock that I tied with a fishing line. And other than that, we're going to rescape this tank. So we'll start off with the things that I used in there. Most of the Texas Holy Rock is real. The little bit that you see to the left is actually fake, some stuff I picked up from PetSmart, which is very light and makes it easy to use. What I'm showing you here is some of the rocks. I used silicone, clear silicone. It's still drying right here. This is when I first applied it. I wanted to make some caves for the Frontosa. They like to go in caves, and as well as for getting them to breed. Now these Frontosa have bred 3 times so far. The reason I feel like they've stopped breeding is because I've added a lot of other cichlids to the tank that probably shouldn't be with them. So they haven't bred as much as you would think they would by now, but that's perfectly fine. I love the tank. I'm not really worried about the breeding. I'm more worried about them loving their tank. So this is the first piece of rock I put in there, Texas Holy Rock. The goal of this piece was to kind of cover that filter. My goal for this Aquascape was pretty simple actually. I wanted to use the rule of thirds, although it's an 8 foot by 2 foot by 2 foot tank. I wanted to use the rule of thirds and kind of build the scape up like that. You'll see as we go the things that I'm trying to do, but mainly I wanted to make there enough caves for all of the fish to be able to hide or sleep somewhere. Now Frontosa, even though they're pretty large fish, they still like to hide quite a lot. I mean, they're fish that are found about 150 feet down, up to 150 feet down in Lake Tanganyika. So hiding in a 2 foot deep tank is something that they're not used to, especially the lights either. I keep the lights off unless I'm working on the tank or looking at the tank. To say one of the coolest things about scaping a tank is watching the fish interact with the new scape. To me that means that they like it. Like you see right here, the paracichlid goes right through the cave that I just created, which tells me that it likes the cave. They always fill it out, they always look through it and see what's going on. They're a little skittish at first, but they love rock work. As soon as I get all the rock work in the tank, they pick out their caves and they're pretty quick about going. And you see several fish are now going through the same hole. This is what the tank looks like from the front so far. Now you can see the fish are starting to interact with the rock work I put in there. There's still so much rock work to put in, but I feel like they like it so far. They're all kind of congregating around the piece of rock that I put in, which is really cool for me to see, and it's exciting to get started. Or the pieces of Holy Rock that are getting put in right now are actually fake pieces. These are the pieces I was talking about. They were from PetSmart. It's before I actually found some actual real Texas Holy Rock. Super light, but they actually work pretty well, and I don't believe the Frontosa really see the difference. These pieces are mainly for the Ecosystem. They really like to hide inside of these things, so you always have to be careful when you're taking this rock work out, because they will stay inside it as you pull it out of the water. And a couple of times I've even had it where I put the rock on the table and then I see one of those jump out of one of the holes, and then I have to hurry and get them back in the water. But as you can see, the fish are already trying to claim different caves. They're skittish because I'm still messing around in the tank, but they're definitely trying to claim caves and stake their claim to what hole they like or what cave they like the most so far. but I'm giving them several caves so they can all have a little place that they can either hide or that they can stay in. They always come out when I come around the tank. I believe they think it's feeding time, and most of the time it is, or when I'm just watching the tank. The only time they really don't come out of the caves is if it's dark or if I bring new people around the tank. Believe it or not, if I bring someone new around the tank, these fish will hide. The fish are in my basement, and if I tell the person that I'm bringing down to see them to stay on the stairs so they can still see the fish, but the fish can't really see them, and I go over to the tank, they'll all come out. And then if the person starts to approach, they all start hiding again. So I think it's just a matter of they trust me, they don't really trust other people. They're pretty smart fish actually, so I always thought that was pretty cool. I didn't believe it at first, but I tested it a few times and it's definitely true. If there's someone other than me coming toward the tank, they'll hide. If I come toward the tank, they'll definitely come out and swim around and even swim up to the glass. Starting to make some movement. The tank is starting to look a lot more scaped. There's a lot more rock work in there. The fish seem to be pretty happy. They're all swimming around the rocks, looking at the different caves, seeing where they would like to stake their claim and where they would like to stay. There are several fish in here now that were intended to be in this tank, mainly because I shut down a couple of my other tanks, and instead of either giving the fish away or selling the fish, I'm holding on to them for now until I move. And when I move, I'll either have a larger fish room or I will have to sell some of the fish at that time. I do want my Frontosa to breed. That's part of the reason I got them, but another part of the reason is just I wanted beautiful wild caught fish, and these are the fish that I wanted. So in order for them to have the best tank, they kind of need to be by themselves, and I think they'll go back to having their normal habits again. The good thing is none of the fish bother the Frontosa. The Frontosa range in the tank anywhere from some of the females are 6 inches and some of the males are about 14.5 inches. So they're pretty large fish. You can't really tell on video. Once I show people the fish in person, they're always stunned at how large the fish are in the tank. And that's one of those things where it's hard to really tell the size of a fish on video. It's definitely not something you can tell unless you either put a ruler up to it or unless you're measuring them on video. But until you see them in person, there's a big difference. For example, I know the nooses here looks kind of small. It doesn't look like the largest fish you've ever seen, but that fish is actually about 8 inches. So the fish in the tank are a lot larger than they appear on video. I'm pretty proud of the fact that all these fish are doing well. I haven't had any problems with any fish dying or any fish getting sick. I do have a couple of issues with the females pretending to hold, but that's something Frontosa do. I'll get them out of the tank and try to strip them when they're holding, and it's just air that they're holding. And then they don't really like me when I do that, so I've tried to get away from doing that recently because a lot of people say that they'll just practice holding as they're getting older, which is perfectly fine. The 2 smaller Frontosa you see in the tank are actually from this group breeding, but there were 27 eggs at first. A lot of the eggs got a type of fungus that I didn't know. 2 of them lasted. The 2 that actually lasted had bad stripes, but I didn't have the heart to kill them or call them out. Obviously, when I move, they won't be fish that stay in the group. One of them is male, one of them is female, but they have bad stripes, and that's not something I really want to pass on. They're also F1, but I feel like someone, maybe a kid or maybe someone who just wants Frontosa in a cichlid tank, would absolutely love the fish. They're growing quickly. They love the tank too, but they will have to come out of here once we start breeding again. Here we are. This is what the final aquascape looks like. As you can see, the fish are going in and out of all of the rock work. They're picking their different caves. They seem to love it, and really, at the end of the day, that's all that really matters, as long as the fish love the tank. I know when you see the big Frontosa to our left come across the screen, you probably think that is the alpha male. It is not. There's actually a fish with much better stripes, much better coloring, much better attributes for a Frontosa. In the tank, he's a little bit smaller. It's for the third largest fish in the tank, but he likes to hide a lot. But all of the female Frontosa in the tank like to stay around him. He's actually the alpha male in the tank. The larger Frontosa you see right here is actually a Katoomba Frontosa. He was in another wild caught group, but he was getting picked on by the other males. And he's not really a breeder or anything. He's in the tank. He doesn't cause any problems at all. In fact, he shies away from all fights, even letting the parrot cichlid pick on him as well. But alright guys, this is where I leave you. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you liked the Aquascape. Leave me a comment down below and let me know how you feel about the Aquascape or what you think I should change. And if you're interested in some of the other cichlids in the tank, let me know. Send me a message and maybe we can set something up so you could have some of them. I'm not trying to make a lot of money off them. I just really need to get them out of the tank at this point so I can get it back to a complete wild caught Frontosa tank. Thanks for watching.